Right, let's do a quick name check here. Have we got David?
Yes.
Have we got Danielle?
Yes.
And Michael?
Here and ready to rock.
Great. Now, these guys are all from the band Twofew, who have got a new song out called Lips Blue. So, if one of you would like to describe the style of the song, really, then you're welcome to.
Yeah, I think Lips Blue is really progressive rock song with a lot of cool licks, starting with piano. All of our music is piano fronted, and really kind of driving licks to set a tone around a song that tells a story from someone's life. I'll let Mike describe the story for you, but really, the layering, all of the way that the instruments go together, I would put it more in the progressive rock and alternative camps.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And in terms of the lyrics, what kind of themes does it have in it?
I think everybody's going to have their own conception of the lyrics, but for me, they were based on a past relationship dissolving and a third person perspective of the person that I had separated from in that relationship. So I kind of dove into that memory. I was like, how would it feel to be this person, who wanted to be together and I didn't? So that's kind of the inspiration from that.
Yes. And how did you go about recording it? Have you all been in separate places, or have you managed to meet up in a studio in these times?
So we practice at our house. David and Michael are brothers.
Yeah.
So during COVID and stuff, we live 10 minutes away. So
Yeah.
we would quarantine together and practice together. And then when it was starting to ease up a little bit, we found a recording studio, found a drummer and another guitar player, and started practicing there every week. So we've been managing pretty good.
Yeah.
Being family and all helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long did this song actually take to write from start to finish?
That's the cool part about this song was when we decided to take our group from, just being a couple members to full-fledged band, we wrote this song in about 10 minutes and then brought it to the band and developed it in about over 2 months and rolled out to Nashville to record it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive then.
I kind of look back on that and pinch myself too. If I didn't have the video to remind me that it really happened, I'm not sure I'd believe it either. But it was kind of cool.
Yeah. And how did the name for the band come about as well? Because it's Twofew, but it's kind of cool because it's the number 2, and not even the number 2 like you'd expect, but the number 2 spelled out.
It's a great question. The moniker is previous to Tutu's inception. I was in another popular band, and it had been around for about 8 years, and we had these rotating bass players. At one point, we were high and dry out a bassist in the middle of a record, and my wife's like, "Hey, I can pick up the bass and learn some licks to cover you till you find one." So she did, and then she was like, "I want to jam with you on piano," because I had these other piano songs I wasn't doing in that band. So we started jamming, and then later when we found a new bass player, we realized there were just 2 of us, on piano and a bass guitar. So we were too few members of a band. And that was where we played the play on words there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So how did each of you originally get into music then?
Yeah, I'll take the first one on that. So, probably when I was in my early teens, maybe a little bit before, I had a few different instruments. Originally started on saxophone, and then figured guitar was actually my main love. It took me about a year and a half to figure that out, and I ended up sticking with guitar ever since. But I would go to sleep holding my guitar. I would wake up in the morning with it still in my hands and play it pretty much all day as much as I could. I had the luxury of going to an art school for high school and got to spend almost all my time in during normal school hours in the practice rooms, and then do all my homework outside of that. That carried with me into college. I took studio recording initially in college, and got to spend an awful lot of time just in the studio, both on both sides of the glass, running the console as well as doing performance, and sitting in with some of the bigger bands that would come through on the live scene. And then right around the end of that era, Mike and I were playing a lot of music together, just kind of little projects, nothing too serious, and started getting a lot of attention on a few things that we had done, and brought those in and did those this commercially and had enjoyed a number of hits. So, that was my story. And that brings us all the way to today where, here I am still on guitar and playing in this great band.
Yeah, definitely. And Danielle?
Well, I started my music in middle school, in elementary school, middle school, and throughout high school. I played violin. So I was, I trained in music and theory and everything like that. And then kind of gave it a break for a while.
Yeah.
Was doing life, in general, and then picked up the bass. I think it's about 4 years now. And was able to pick it up super easy because it's kind of like violin, but reverse, with the notes. So I was able to read the music right off the bat. Yeah. So now I'm, trying to teach myself how to play by ear a little bit better, being in a band with other instruments.
Yeah. And the bass is an interesting thing to get into because of all instruments, it's probably the least likely that somebody would pick up.
Really? I don't know. I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Frustrated guitarist.
Well, I don't want to play guitar. I love my bass. So I'm happy with that little niche that I have.
Oh yeah, must be fun. And how about you, Michael? How did you get involved in the musicality?
I started playing piano at 4. One of our neighbors in the town we grew up on had this old upright. And I'd hammer on the keys. I wasn't very good, but everyone, all my parents' friends thought that I was this prodigy. And as time went on, I got into classical playing and performancing and the competition piano and stuff like that. I ended up going to a bunch of art schools with my brother. And actually, one of the art schools we went to when I was in 9th grade is where we met our other guitarist, who recently joined the band with us. Around 15 years old, being the kid going through puberty, I dropped piano to piss my parents off and picked up a guitar.
Yeah.
And didn't look back on piano until about 4 years ago when I started Twofew with Danielle. And I was shaking off the dust. My original playing style's back, and it's fine-tuned, and all the kinks are hammered out, and we've got a viable product.
Yeah, that's exciting now. So, after this song, what other stuff have you got in the works for the band?
We are dropping an immediate follow-up here. We're in the final vocal sessions for it.
Yeah.
And that song's called Gone, and that was another one of the singles that we recorded in Nashville. That should drop before the end of the year with an accompanying music video as well. And then in early of 2022, we are dropping a brand new single called The War. And I'm not sure what we're doing for a video on that, but right now just seeing the preliminary numbers coming from Lips Blue is exciting.
Yes.
So just watching some of the online channels blow up is a lot of fun. So a lot of anticipation for Gone, and really, really can't wait for the shows seem to come back with COVID clobbering all these venues. Yeah, festivals being canceled. It'd be real fun to go play a festival or a big show again.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in the meantime, where are we able to check out the latest song, Lips Blue? I take it it's in all the usual places.
Yeah, it's going to be in all the usual places, but your easiest go-to would just be to go to twofewmusic.com. Right on the homepage, there's a big video with the music video on the song. If you click the music tab, we're letting people download it for free for the next few weeks as a promotional special. It comes with all the lyrics, the album cover, all that kind of fun stuff. So
yeah, great. Well, thank you everybody for coming on the show today. It's been great to chat to you all.
Likewise,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.